Գյուրջան Կասկադ, հասանելի բնակարաններ 65 ամիս մարման ժամկետով։
Actually, there are two fundamental problems with what Minister Mirzayan mentioned. First of all, Minister Mirzayan said that in Armenian constitution there is no reference to the territory of Azerbaijan. And just I want to clarify, because I don't want to play with words, but there is an act of independence of the Republic of Armenia, which says about reunification of part of the territory of Azerbaijan, de jure and de facto, with the Republic of Armenia. And the Armenian constitution makes a reference to the act of independence. And based on these, let's say, pieces of legislation, I mean the fundamental norms of the Armenian legislation, which is the constitution, many dozens of different lower tier normative legal acts, decision has been adopted over the last 30 years, confirming the same narrative. Talking about the specifics of the peace agreement. In reality, yes, peace agreement address many issues, but again, this is also a well-known fact that no matter what you include in the peace agreement, your peace agreement, being the part of your international obligation, will prevail over your domestic legislation, but not constitution or any other act adopted by referendum. Which means that if we just, trying to simplify the situation, will only, focus on a peace agreement without resolving the situation with constitution, it means that from day one, peace agreement will be null and void, because it will be contradictory to the main law of the country, which is not the case. Another thing, what Azerbaijan is saying, this is from legal standpoint. From, let's say, strategical point of view, from political point of view, this is also important, taking into consideration that it was always, let's say, the narrative, it was the fundament of Armenian legislation. This is also important just to understand the approach and position of Armenian people, Armenian public in respect of this. How they consider this, whether this, the population is ready to eliminate territorial claims to its neighbors or not. Then another important element from what Azerbaijan is saying, and by the way, so this is not some new, let's say, precondition from Azerbaijani side. We are raising this issue for the period of more than 2 years. In May 2023, during one of our meetings in United States, we submitted official document to this extent to our Armenian counterparts, but verbally we discussed this even before, just, for you. We did, two stuff in parallel, peace agreement talks and raising this issue. Another important element, so what we are saying, this is not something extraordinary in the modern history of other countries. Even if we look to the European continent, there are a number of cases when, because of these or similar problem, having some problems with the neighboring countries, the countries actually went to the referendum and made the changes in their constitution. So there is nothing extraordinary or, let's say, maximalistic from Azerbaijani, position. And then back to the last argument from Minister Mirzayan's statement about, let's say, similar concerns of the Armenian side about Azerbaijani institutions. First of all, it does not represent the reality. Azerbaijani constitution does not contain any geographical name or territory of the modern Republic of Armenia. And I think our Armenian counterparts, they are very well aware, because otherwise they would definitely raise this issue, because, the legal system of Armenia, legal system of Azerbaijan, legal system of Turkey and all these countries, this is more or less the same. You cannot enter into international agreements if they are contradictory to the constitution of the country. So I don't believe that our Armenian counterparts, they are sincerely believe that Azerbaijani constitution contains territorial claim to Armenia, and at the same time, they never raised this before, and they just ignore this fact, because this is really strange. Because if you believe that the constitution of the other country has a territorial claim to your country, then you only pretend that you are signing, let's say, peace agreement which will handle this situation, because it will be open. because no international agreement can change or remain the obstacle which is part of your constitution.